If we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen, because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose.
He talks like a dumb person. I don't know why. Like everything about him just screams like 8 IQ. I don't know. He seems like the kind of person that would do this, right? He probably saw how much shit Hasan got into over the dog collar and thought maybe this would be a good line of a counterattack. Okay. Let's do Twitch.
So, I mean, you guys.
This is an hour and 28 minutes. Big news. Huge. We're finally going to learn who the fuck Mizkif is. Because honestly, I still don't really know. I don't know that much about this person. I know about Emiru because she was assaulted at TwitchCon. That led to a pretty broad consensus that Twitch security, or lack thereof, was responsible. There had to be her own personal security to get the guy off of her. Initially, Twitch offered to give the guy a 30-day ban for sexually assaulting someone on camera. But that's just Twitch stuff. Now it seems that Mizkif is facing allegations. And I don't know anything about Mizkif. I just know that he's every time I see clips of him, he just says something that's remarkably unmemorable and is a bit of a dipshit, but we're going to learn a lot more today, I guess. Let's see.
So, I mean, you guys can probably tell, but today's not going to be a normal stream. Not going to, watch videos or play games or anything today. I kind of just have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm probably just going to go offline after. But yeah, it's, I mean, you guys know, I've been streaming for 10 years. Last week was kind of the first time that I ever really, spoke about a topic or, something that happened to me. And honestly, I'm really glad that I did, and I'm proud that I did. And, I feel like I have to see it to its conclusion, if that makes sense. Not just for myself, but in a way, I kind of feel like a lot of people are involved.
You can skip the first 6 minutes. I was going to ask when the story starts. Not that I don't care about her story. It's just that we got a lot to get through.
There was someone.
Oh, she's reading off of a script, isn't she? Or she's notes.
And then I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then I believe it was the next day.
Wait, that's the start of a story, though. Hang on, you're not 6 minutes. We're here. Wait till she pulls out the notes.
Police. I don't know, something like that. That's what my lawyer said.
Okay.
But basically, they were Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work on the case right away. So yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday, from the San Diego police. They were like, yeah, we're working on the warrant, but right now, that's all we can really do, but we're trying our best. Just want to let you know, we're gonna keep in the loop and everything. I was like, okay. I was very frustrated because I was like, damn, I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then I believe it was the next day. There was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying oh, I'm, traveling to Texas, and I caused quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly. And this whole time my manager was basically begging Twitch, dude, please give us his name. We don't know who this person is. For all we know, he lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. like, I can't, like, help her if, like, I don't know who this person is and they were refusing to do it. But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager, as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so the investigation's still going on, but it's like been a huge mess because of all of the delays and like refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't like say too much about it. Like all this that I'm saying, obviously I like ran by my lawyer and stuff. And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure that, you know, me and my roommates, who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying for like security stuff, making sure we're protected. Again, my manager's been taking care of that all on her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that. And yeah, that's where it is right now, pretty much.
The overwhelming majority of these plushies are Kirby's, aren't they? She has a lot of Kirby's. I don't know what a lot of these big Twitch streamers do. I know some of them are from Smash Bros. Is that what she's from? I thought she was a cosplayer, but maybe she did both. There's a lot of Kirby's, right? I would normally say, oh, and it's an emote as well. They're mostly from fans. What the fuck? Why don't you guys send me plushies? 15 minutes, Nintendo stuff. You guys don't give me fucking... Maybe I need a P.O. box, eh? Or even donos with buy this attached to it. Where's my Nasrallah plushie? Where's that going?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I just never thought things like this would happen, or I'd ever be doing
She played
a
League.
stream like this. It just feels very strange because it's just very out of my element. I've never really, like, for the most part, commented on drama or like self-inserted in situations, but I guess in this situation I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of it against my will. So it's like if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it? I'm just gonna take a second. Sorry, I've said that like 4 times, but this is it's a lot. I hate drama streams. Me too, man. Bro, like I could have come home. I could have worked on beating Cinna and Clint's fucking Mega Bonk scores. Now look what I have to do.
Vosh
so
plushie.
Fucking annoying. I had to cancel my plans. Which reminds me, I don't think there's gonna be a Halloween stream this year. I don't think that's realistic with kind of the vibes of things right now. But I mean, is anyone gonna be mad at me if I do like, you know, like a Halloween in November thing? Or I mean, there's always next year, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, things happen outside of your control. So, yeah. It's just crazy, but I mean, thank you guys for listening to me talk and complain. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. So, the next thing.
Okay.
At
This is
the
where it
end
starts. I see.
of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But I feel like those things, developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident, have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So I've already seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right. I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious. And I feel like it's going to change things forever. And so today, I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone. Sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time. I'm gonna be doing a lot of I guess you could say like fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started, so that people understand what prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet, and I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people, and I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this, because I can't hold on to it any longer, because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Okay.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me, and that I've known—
Can we 1x this, please? What, is this too fast? Alright. Let's see. Isn't Mizkif a WoW player just like Lonerbox? They are the worst, so no, there was a while ago when there was something going on. I can't remember what it was even about, but I remember one of the damning clips at the time was like a Mizkif clip when there was just like a WoW going on in the background, but I can't remember what the story was.
For months But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on.
Who has the bigger audience? Can Mizkif's audience overwhelm her community? I don't know, but it's never just about audience size. It's also about how many contacts or friends you have and whether they would take your side or not, or I guess in different environments it depends, because there are some environments obviously where, like probably most environments in the world, where if you're a woman, like coming out with the allegation is almost always going to be an default disadvantage. If you're in a more progressive leaning space, then obviously it might be the other way around, but I don't know.
Also,
for some people, like even if you're in a space where the woman's word does actually get taken like very credibly, then you can still have issues where it's just not worth all the fucking hassle. Like it's a lot to do something like this. It's like a big decision. Yeah, it's a big decision.
We're going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying. I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later.
Damn, she's got exhibits. Oh shit.
Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you knew and this, no. A lot of people, didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start.
Okay.
So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said. Okay. This is all public, obviously, this part. I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021. Because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022. After I joined O2K.
22.
I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out.
Yeah, I don't really watch Twitch Aristocracy or whatever the fuck these guys are called, but I had no idea. I did not know that at all. This is already more about Mizkif than I've known ever. I already know more now about, like, I've learned more about Mizkif like just right in the last half hour than I've ever known about him in the past. But he, I would not have ever pinned him and this person together. That's quite weird. As far as, again, I know that I can tell from chat like where this is going and kind of how cooked Mizkif is compared to her, but even just going into it without knowing anything, I would have just thought like this person is clearly just like on a base level more like sympathetic and likable than anything I've ever seen from Mizkif. Mizkif just seems like a fucking, I don't know. Again, I only say this from having seen just like clips without even really knowing the context of what he's talking about, but he just seems like fucking like unimpressive man-child. Like that's the only vibe I get from him, but yeah.
Fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye.
Bro.
He always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries.
That is throwing a phone, like pick up your phone, and like if you've got one, which you all do, right? Phones are like throwing one of those at anyone. That's really dangerous. Like what the fuck? Throwing a phone. Shit. Well, that's fucked. That is fucked. Damn. Man, that's like, even with that, if that one fact alone, that's like bang to rights. Throwing a fucking phone at someone. Jesus.
That makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close.
Even dropping on your phone. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, because that's happened to me a few times. Like, if I've been on my phone in bed, where your phone is literally like an inch away from your face and you drop it. Like, oh, I once dropped my phone and it hit my teeth, like my top teeth. It was horrible. It's just like, it's such an unpleasant feeling. God. He said he was throwing it on the bed, not at her, which doesn't make much difference. Like, even the way she said it, it sounds like he wasn't aiming for her. But like, if she's close enough and you're gonna throw a phone, like, yeah, that's not good. That's fucking. Even throwing a phone in the presence of someone that you're arguing with, and if they're a woman and they're smaller than you and shit like that, and like, yeah, that's really fucking scary. And
then again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
It's worse than throwing a phone.
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better, you know, it makes sense. But yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of like things like events or sponsors or like, you know, just special things for a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want. But the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But
wow. There's going to be a view count issue, isn't there? And a fucking meltdown.
I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public, there are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out, you know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat, people start saying, unofficial Mizraid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself, I waited, or I'm gonna KMS, I waited so long for this, etc.
What the fuck?
And basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but yeah. He starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up, so even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months,
Dude.
and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying.
Why couldn't he just punch a couch? I don't. Oh man, even that, like, because you remember the weird thing about that Mike from PA clip, right? In the sense that she is bullying him on stream, basically, and it's very obvious that he is punching the couch because he was angry at her bullying him, and he doesn't really have the cognitive abilities to defend himself in a verbal exchange, so he punches the couch. But that actually, in a normal interaction between a man and a woman, that is actually quite an intimidating thing to do. It's supposed to intimidate. Like, it's got that function of it, even if he doesn't mean it to do that, even if he's just frustrated, like, it's going to be intimidating. But because he did it in such a, because it was Mike from PA, no one ever really considered that. Like, people just realized that people just saw it as really funny because it was that lackluster and that pathetic. Yeah.
And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend, and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because
Clip related to what she's talking about right now. You guys can send me these in stream suggestions if you want. Why does everyone have this? It's the fucking embody chair, right? The Helen Miller. I don't like it. I didn't think it was comfortable at all, but okay, whatever. Which one is this? Is this Mizkif? Yes, rages over Rust stream viewership. He has a toy flamethrower.
Today is the Rust server. Chat, I'm excited. We got some stuff, dude. We're gonna start talking to people again. We're gonna hang out a little bit.
Got raw pork.
See, he talks like a dumb person. I don't know why. Like, everything about him just screams like 8 IQ. I don't know.
Pork.
I'll fucking take it.
Would you like some raw pork?
Yeah, I'll fucking take raw pork. Hell yeah.
Enjoy.
So I thought, why not build a house up here?
Yes. I can pay rent in your house.
Okay, let's do it. Yep. Oh, wait, check this out. Come here.
Ooh.
Not
Like,
bad,
that's
huh?
The house?
Oh no. Oh no, the views down from 20K. Oh shit.
Wait, our house is literally looking.
He's below 20K. Oh no. Astral, thanks for the gifted sub.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, I need to small screen it so I can see his face.
I want to see Emmy. I can't believe you guys have made separate houses.
The biggest sweats, you retard.
They will come after you guys.
They're the biggest
we
sweats.
can stop them early.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it, dude. We'll join the resistance. You're spelling it wrong? Yeah, my bad. No, I hardly slept last night. That's why I seem tired today.
She got a raid from Alinity. Okay.
I'm pretty tired. I'm just tired. Alright, chat. I'll see you guys later. I will see you guys probably tonight, if not tomorrow. I just need a nap. I'm fucking zooted out of my mind.
What does unofficial Mizraid mean?
Guys,
Oh, he did?
Listen, why are we all acting like we haven't murdered? Like we haven't pillaged? Like we haven't had to do what we had to do to make it here? Where we she had a
He didn't raid her.
one-hit advantage. She was coming after me. I had to
yeah,
attack
she's
back.
jumping. Oh god.
What are you? Was that a test?
You said.
Well, I have.
You can never let this shit affect you though, because that's what happens, right? If you are looking at lower viewership, then you're gonna get negative. If you're gonna attach your fucking well-being or your self-worth to fucking viewership, yeah, you're gonna watch the views go down, and then you're gonna get negative, and then less people are gonna want to watch you because you're getting more negative, and it's just a vicious cycle until you're down to a pitiful 19,000 viewers, eh? God.
Some cloth in my house.
Yeah, you can see her looking to the side and everything.
Did anyone loot me?
Yeah. Go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right
There you go.
back. Yeah, she's trapped now.
Bonnie, look what I did.
Sick. Okay. Sick. Okay. I'm stuck in here. Okay. Sick.
I'm gonna make some
Did
steps.
she flinch? She flinched like 3 times.
Oh, sorry. It's like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Hello.
We are box 747 strong. Hey, nice one. I thought we were like 600, so that's nice. I'm gonna be more energetic
Hamaragi,
now.
Thanks for the sub.
Look at me go.
But alright, yeah, I'm gonna log out for now, but I'll probably come back later. And if not today, then tomorrow or my normal time, so.
Okay. Shit.
I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all
727 now, box talk and shambles. It's I think the only thing you can compare it to as someone who's maybe not a streamer is that it's like those people who melt down when it's usually a guy thing, right? Like those guys who melt down when the girl that they're seeing doesn't text back after 15 minutes, you know? It's that kind of not good. Not good if you're relying on that kind of shit for your well-being, especially your sense of self-worth.
that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started.
So she is accurately
He would
describing things.
destroy
Things.
furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me.
Ugh.
Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home,
Maya told the same story about an unnamed ex who did this to her as well. Yeah, this guy's fucked, man. This guy's cooked. Especially since she referred to a very specific stream where you can sort of see the circumstantial evidence like playing out behind her. Yeah, this guy's pretty shagged, man. Fucking hell.
other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure.
What is this it? Him throwing objects when he's angry.
I'm not talking to him today.
Well, nobody asked you to, so.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Oh no.
She's so uninterested.
What's that stupid fuck? Is it American Horror Story? There's nothing more dangerous than a humiliated man. Oh no. Wait, who said that to him?
So.
I'm not
Oh, Maya. Okay.
Okay.
Look at her face. She's so uninterested.
She said no.
Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past few days.
Oh my god!
Mizkif, that was
Throw
not
it back.
funny.
Throw it
Yeah,
back.
there better be. Oh my god, I would beat the shit out of him.
What the fuck?
We're live, she says.
Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry, aggro man that is like the absolute most helpless thing. Dude, I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like we would fight in the car, which was never my decision. Like it just always like happened. Like we just would like fight in the car and then he'd go like 100 and I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry and then he would not slow down until I apologized.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
So then I started driving only. Like I wouldn't let him drive me anywhere. But then if we'd get in a fight while I was driving, he would like pound my ceiling in my glove box.
Ooh,
He would like
that's scary.
scream and like hit the ceiling and like hit the glove box and just like scream profanity and scream like he would like just call me terrible things while he was doing it. And then I'd pull over and be like, get out of my car, and he'd be like, no. And then I was like, well, okay.
So she didn't name who this was about, but they're suggesting it might have been Ms. What's this?
Yeah,
There's more.
What am I gonna do?
Okay. That could depend on what the dynamic is between those two people. That's a bit different, but okay. The first one and the second one's fucking mental. The car, Jesus. Whoa.
There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better.
It looked like her head hit the armrest. I didn't see that. I did think it looked a bit careless with him doing it with her behind. Because he's not really looking at where she's going to fall, is he? That's a problem. Ugh. Yeah, maybe not, actually. If you're going to do that, like... because you like obviously some guys and girls have like fucking dynamics where the guy picks the girl up and puts her down, but you should, if you're gonna do that, you need to actually think about how you're putting her. It's more like you place them down, as long as you know they're okay with it beforehand. Fucking hell. Drunk men constantly pick us up and drop us. Yep. Isn't there that whole music video about that with the gorillas, the Tame Impala song? Fucking hell.
So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times.
Another WoW streamer.
I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually,
Did these guys just all live within a few meters of each other? I always feel like they're in the same houses doing. Is this what you call OTK? Is that what this is referring to? This group? Because I hear Twitch aristocracy and I hear OTK, but I don't really know who's involved in what. And okay.
He figured out
Austin streamers. Okay.
where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off.
That's goofy. Fuck that.
And there was a time that he did it.
Streamer settlements.
And I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner.
Yeah, why don't politics streamers ever do that, eh? Can you imagine what Loner, Vosh, and Hasan streamer house? Yeah, why don't they do that? Come on. Chop chop.
He came in and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar. He was like, get that fucking cat out of my house.
Who the fuck
So
is Cheddar?
I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah. And then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He, so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed.
Dude.
Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
Man, how fucking, bro, how old is this guy? Like, how stupid do you have to, if someone's, I know that so you can be in a position where if you are in a relationship with someone, or even if you've just broken up and there's still like something going on between you or whatever, like you don't, like, generally consent works in a way that there's an understanding. It's not like every single act is initiated by, do you want to have sex or whatever. But if someone's broken up with you and they're crying, like, crying is a no until proven otherwise to get fucking sexual with someone. Jesus. The fuck? This is worse than Hasan putting his dog in the tub in a toaster. Stop with the comparisons. Stop. Place. Oof.
without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve. And he also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who are asking about it.
It's like when you watch those fucking videos in school and they teach you about bullying and why it's bad, and the kids are like, "Nah, we didn't bully him. That's when you're kicking and punching someone." Like, fuck me, dude.
Were concerned, he would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
Dude!
And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished.
Yeah, man, this is fucking insane insecurity. Jeez, that's so mental. That is like intergalactic insecurity. Fuck.
And I actually wanted to show some of those messages because obviously a lot of these things
exhibits. Shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying.
Wait, fucking. She wants us to pause and read, right? It's a pause and read thing. But how do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? Lol. Yes, I'm still wanting to be DPS, but for dungeons I have to tank. Yeah, you really don't. Like, you don't. How can I not tank in dungeons? You straight up don't have to because you're a DPS. My group didn't have other warriors. Yeah, I know where this is going and I'm not dealing with it. I asked for a boundary and it's always crossed. You don't know boundary. You can't, bro. How can I not tank because you aren't a tank? When I said I don't want to be tank again, I meant I don't want to tank in raid, which is still true. Because I don't know what I'm doing. You do not need to tank in dungeons. So now I'm going to get so much shit. Don't stop. Don't ever pull aggro. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy. Ugh. Oh, man. Whoever leaked therapy speak into Gen Pop has a lot to answer for. Yeah, man. Has anyone combed Reddit for any posts? Any posts on Reddit? My GF is better tank than me. Fuck's sake.
And I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know...
I don't understand what you want me to do. Not tank, just that simple. What the fuck does that mean? You already played warrior when I told you we're going to get compared. Don't pull. I'm going to pull aggro because I'm a warrior. No, you're not. Another warrior can tank. Oh, God.
If you want to read this later, that's fine, I guess. And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and...
You bet you didn't die as many times. That might be true just by virtue of the fact that Mizkif doesn't seem like he'd be patient enough to level carefully in WoW.
See me trying to deal with this.
Ash, for one thing, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm playing the game.
While I'm live in the middle of a dungeon, trying to just play the fucking game.
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmys, the Emmy is so much better, the people saying you're better in every chat, the comparison since nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank and you don't listen. Now it's the classic. What was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. dash 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 p dash 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 dash. Okay. God damn it. Ouch.
Oh fuck, I think I...
Same screenshot twice. Oh no. L manifesto. Shit.
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine.
Some insecurity is okay and normal, but don't go at your partner like this to deal with it on your own. Yeah, I mean, there can be scenarios where like, say for example, like someone's partner can start kind of mirroring them a little bit. Like I guess that happens with different like fucking mental health issues and shit like that. And like treading on their toes, and that can probably be quite annoying, especially if they step into something that's like theirs. But I mean, the fact that it's like overlapped with all this behavior as well doesn't really give that excuse.
Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can, read that later, I suppose, if, yeah, like I said before, shit, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence, like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we
Wait,
spoke.
is he saying get his career back when what? Like how many viewers is this guy getting when he's talking about getting his career back? I mean, I know people compare and despair all the time, but fuck me, like this is why though. This is why you can't like ever say something like, oh yeah, maybe once I get 500 viewers, I'll be chill. Once I get 1,000 viewers, I'll be chill. Once I get 10,000, I'll be chill. It's like, no, if you think like that, you will never be chill. You will never be satisfied with how you're doing in life. Ugh.
Each other.
5 to 10K difference.
Saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And
okay.
It was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. but because of the past incidents,
How he reacts when Emiru's brought up. There are so many of these, man. So many.
One of my favorite collabs was Emiru, bro.
Oh my god, Emiru was so cool.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Dude, everyone was like so cool.
Emiru, bro, I didn't think Emiru was gonna tap in with us. That's the thing. Because we were with Cinna and Bonnie, but it's just the thing that Emiru, when she popped up, I was like, dude, Emiru was like...
Like, I'm not gonna lie, everyone's been so cool so far, except for like...
I feel like there has to be like a cancer. Like, there has to be like a reason.
These are very kind of like micro responses. Okay, whatever.
During like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him. Past incidents, during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January.
Don't worry, we'll do Mizkif shit afterwards, okay? God. If there's no violence, Loner's not interested. Oh yeah, fucking... I was brought up on a... mid-2000s 4chan, okay? I need ultra violence, otherwise I'm not... Yeah. Otherwise you might as well... It's like when you're a kid and they're like, oh, what's this film? American Beauty. You're like, is that good? And they're like, nah, it's just talking. They're just talking the whole time. What about American Psycho? I heard that one's a good video, a good film, like lots of violence. And they're like, yeah, there's a bit, but actually it's surprisingly quite a lot of talking. Just lots of talking. Oh, damn, fuck's sake. Yeah.
Of this year. It's been 10 months. But, you think that's the end? It is, unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And, I'm just gonna show those.
Oh no. Is it a wall of text? It's not triple tapping, is it? Oh
and at
no.
At first it starts simple, be confusing messages, or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
When she doesn't respond, chat, keep typing. Oh yeah. That's like 4 days apart. Yeah, fuck. Like, it's scary, man, when you're getting this kind of stuff from someone. Ooh.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Okay.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And, it's just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message. Because, doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker. And, all the highlights, like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
Dude! No way.
Yeah, like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like, him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake
Out of interest though, how accurate is that checker? Because the whole point of ChatGPT is it's supposed to talk to you like a human. And I love you, I want you back messages are not like often that original, right? Like, it seemed that one of those messages he was referring back to times that they had or whatever, talking about the cat and watching stuff on watching shows together, but huh. Yeah, I might be overextending with that one. You don't know. I don't think you actually know.
thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs, I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier, because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop. Where was I? Yeah, so... Yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are going to talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I don't
know what this event is that she got attacked with 2 other streamers. But if you're asking if it was because Mizkif hired goons to attack her so he could defeat her, I don't think that's what happened, but we'll see.
That he joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that like no one knew at all, and like it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird. It puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand, still very scary, but why are you acting like if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who like kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. So, I was obviously panicking, like I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was like huge, like public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm like crying, and Senna and Ray are like what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah, anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what, like, the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, you know, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible.
This is not the point here, but why does this grown adult have a room full of stuffed animals? Well, I think since they're all Kirby's, they're gifted to her by viewers. That's what I was told. I don't know why you would buy more than one yourself, especially since they're the exact same. But generally, you're right. Like, you shouldn't usually trust people who have this many plushies. From my experience, they're bad people, terrible, terrible people. But I don't know in this situation. I think there's maybe some context.
Weekend, I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting and calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I think I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if like, I mean, people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters, it's just interesting, right?
Yeah.
As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago is when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know,
they got together in 2022. Yeah, it's been pretty dragged out then.
telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment, and for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary stream because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things—
Sorry, I just got a massive DM. I was like, what's going on? Okay, right.
To other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like—
Not related. Not related.
It would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help.
Mizkif DM'd me, yeah, he's giving me the narrative control.
And I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard
Good or bad? Oh, just neutral. It was just big.
to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community. And I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And yeah, that's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And,
You think this is a fake ooh-woo voice? I don't think this is a fake ooh-woo voice. This is just how she sounds, isn't it? Isn't this just how she talks? Huh.
I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone, but sorry, voice crack. I know talking about this probably won't make him or probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone, but I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening. And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all, but I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, you know, grievances with him. But for the people who did know about this, thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to like put this out there and then, you know, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California.
Oh shit, that's big.
And I also want
restraining orders, as far as I understand, are very difficult to get a hold of as well. It's not easy to get a restraining order. That's why people always have these fucking issues with fans being obsessive fucking stalkers. It's not easy to get the justice system or the legal system to be like, you cannot be near this person. Yeah.
Say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it, and I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Definitely not how I would have liked to spend my Saturday. I would have loved to go to karaoke with my friends or something like that instead. A lot of people like karaoke, right, guys?
I don't. Fuck karaoke. Losing all my sympathy now.
I think that's it. I'm probably gonna take some time off. I'm not sure. Like, I genuinely have no idea what the response to this all is gonna be like.
They're pretty dark times for a lot of the big streamers, eh? It seems like they're all going through some shit right now. Well, I guess it's only fair that we find Mizkif's response, eh? In the name of fact-checking and such. Because he did publish a video that's only half an hour long, thankfully.
Is this goodbye? No.
31 minutes from the boy. Let's see. Also, 22 minutes at the goal, guys. 22 minutes. 7 more super chats at the goal. Come on. What the fuck? Gotta brighten up my day here. Shit. This is intense. Okay, this guy. I have to watch this guy for. Okay.
No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. Explain yourself. I will. There's some people that are saying some pretty crazy things. I haven't even gone on Twitter. I saw other things, and I'm like, damn. But I've been around for 10 years now. A lot of you guys know, pretty far away from this stuff at this point, but I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious. I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Before that, I'd like to address everything that was said today.
He's scorched earth. Thank you for the $10, Flammers. Really appreciate it.
I wrote this myself, so I don't know if it's even good. I am not the best writer, as a lot of you know. I have a lot of half my screen right now is red because I can't write for shit. It's not through ChatGPT. Shut up. So, this is April of 2021. We met online when we were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy. I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her.
See, I can't. He just talks like a stupid person. He just has if you're like an actor and you have to play an idiot, you would put on this voice, right? Like droopy.
Or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know this. I was playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with, so we started hanging out. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya. Me and Maya broke up. I broke up with her because the relationship felt stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and we hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted a streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make content, and the guy will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her.
He is properly. This isn't farming. He's like, fuck it. He's so stiff. He's like fucking super glued to this script here. Okay.
Her Kansas home by herself. From there, our relationship started growing very fast. Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over again, season 1. I loved it because she made me feel like it was...
Okay, wait. Does Asmongold have a react to this where he's addressing claims?
Is this goodbye? No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. Explain yourself.
Let's see Asmon's response.
They were out of their mind and dangerous.
Come on, Roach Lord.
I told her, if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop
the beginning of the
doing TikTok to and now. Also, like, you've got to keep in mind, while, like, I mean,
she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us.
Fuck, let's go from the top. Don't care.
Is this goodbye? No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. Explain yourself. I will. There's some people that are saying some pretty crazy things. I haven't even gone on Twitter. I saw other things, and I'm like, damn. But I've been around for 10 years now. A lot of you guys know, pretty far away from this stuff at this point, but I am totally...
We need the wheel. We're not going to get wheel here. We're going to get critical thought from Mr. Asmongold, okay? We're going to get critical pushback. Because I believe him and Emiru have a show together, don't they? Do they still? Oh, did he put the Oblivion music on because he's like an NPC? Is that... Oh, no. The ChatGPT theme tune. Oh, no. Fuck. That's not good. Wait, where is... God, there are so many reacts here. Let's just go through it. Hang on.
Okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think
he always plays WoW music. Well, this isn't WoW music, is it? This is Oblivion. This is the NPC meme, isn't it?
Pretty obvious. I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going
to... friends to begin with, bro. That's why you're screenshotting and taking notes and trying to find blackmail on them to begin with.
Whoa. Shit!
To completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released, that are very interesting for everyone, and
sure,
I will...
I think he probably does. And if it's something bad that somebody said, and it's like actually matters, like it's not somebody saying a word they shouldn't say, but it actually matters, like go ahead and release it, but I wouldn't believe anything he would put out.
We found after being with each other that her...
Asmongold is not impressed by logs of streamers saying the N-word. I see.
Stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content. These people were schizophrenic.
Sneeko on the response stream. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do that.
And would think that she is talking to them. Whether it was songs she played, the way she looked at the screen, or just the titles of the videos, these people started to feel she was talking to them and come to our house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her, if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only me.
It's just, bro, like, we really didn't talk about this, like, trying to get him not to do that. Like, it really, it told her to do this, like, it, and it's also, like, I mean, you dated this girl whenever she, like, you brought her to the house, and she was already doing TikToks like this to begin with, right? So, like, you knew what you were getting yourself into, and now you're trying to make her change her content. Now, after everything that we know about Miz, I think that it's much more likely that the reason why he did that is because those videos, maybe it did annoy him as her boyfriend, but also, like, you've got to keep in mind that Miz was also farming content with other girls in real life. Like, he would bring on girls like Jenna Lynn Meowri. He would bring on, you know, I remember Peach Jars would be on the stream, and that it wasn't like super sexual, but it wasn't not sexual either. And like there was an innuendo there, right? Emily, yeah, ST Peach, the Botas. He would bring up Alinity, Fandy, right? Yeah, he would bring these.
Yes, I understand the complete fucking irony of Asmongold holding this accountability for Mizkif, but also being fine with fucking Trump being the president. Yes.
Girls on all the time. So before we go and we talk about like, oh, well, it's just like a boyfriend that didn't want to be disrespected by his girlfriend. How can you talk about not wanting to be disrespected by your girlfriend and even play that card whenever you have a revolving door of girls around that you bring on to farm as if like there might be something going on? You see what I'm saying? So like it's the implication of that, right? And so like really that it's just bullshit. And so even if you believe that, it's a double standard that he had. So it's like you took a girl that makes TikToks and makes short form content and you bring her into your house and you say you're not allowed to do this anymore. Meanwhile, you're doing the same type of stuff and Miz has his own stalkers and his own shit too. It's not like he doesn't deal with this. He deals with it too. And so at this point, I think that especially now that it's been so openly discussed and revealed that he cares a lot about viewership, I think that it's much more likely that the reason why he didn't want her posting that content is because that content would get her a lot of attention. Because it did. Big surprise. So this is the reason, like, I mean, you see kind of the reason, like, I mean, it's just, it's bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. None of it even makes any sense.
It's like that thing where, you know, people talk about Fight Club and guys who watch Fight Club and they think Tyler's awesome and the whole, oh, we work jobs that we hate to buy shit that we don't need and we're pissed off, so we're gonna become raise an anonymous army of skinheads and destroy. Like it's fucking dumb, right? Like it's just dumb. It's supposed to be dumb. It's supposed to be mocking like male insecurity and the kind of shit that they aspire to and all that. But like another film that was doing something in a much more obvious way was also not noticed at the time, because everyone knows now that Patrick Bateman, like American Psycho, everyone knows it's a meme, right? Everyone knows that they're memeing over corporate like stock broker culture in the United States in the 1980s and the fucking the way men see themselves and the way they're really insecure and the way that he's basically just kind of like a shell of a man who just kind of imitates what he thinks men are supposed to do. But apparently when the film came out, a lot of people didn't notice that. A lot of people didn't notice it at all. They just thought like, whoa, this guy's a crazy serial killer. Whoa. Like, so it is kind of interesting that, and obviously if you rewatch it now, if you rewatch it, Breaking Bad's another example. Obviously, because that's the whole meme. Do I even need to tell people, in case one person doesn't know, that when Breaking Bad first came out, people rooted for like Walter White. They thought he was, you know, just like a hardcore guy living life the way he wants to and trying to help his family and shit like that, and like they don't appreciate him, and it's actually like his fucking wife that's the big deal and all that. But obviously, if you watch it again and realize that, and just think for a second about what he's actually doing and why she's actually annoyed at him the whole time, it's like, yeah, it's pretty fucking obvious. It's almost amazing that people didn't catch it the first time, but it's kind of like the same. That scene where Bateman's getting fucking, where he's molding, he's losing his shit about the business card, right? The people have one of his colleagues has a really impressive business card, and he starts sweating and fucking going into like a bloodlust rage. It's obviously supposed to be like comically fucking stupid, but it's not actually that far off of the way Mizkif seems to have been behaving with the view counts. Like men are like people. Some people are actually like that. Like that level of insecurity is not. It's not actually that exaggerated. Right? Yeah.
But the house, Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone
have double standards? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean that type of a double standard is wrong.
Let's see Emiru's WoW gameplay. Oh my god. Look at that well-placed thunderclap to counter the threat. Look at that dynamic targeting and use of... No! Stop.
that was in my house or anyone that was near us. She agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that...
you're not comfortable with it as a guy, but you think that she has to be comfortable with you having all these girls on your stream. The same as, by the way, you did to her.
If I had a problem, to let her know. And at first, it was minor things here and there, but over time, it got harder and harder to deal with. There were more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone
found... had to, like, why did you have to? I know why you had to.
Whoa.
I know why you thought you had to. You're not going to say why, are you? Let's find out if he says why.
Out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems.
That's exactly right. We would have been totally okay with it. He would have had to be able to do it. We could have just signed something, would have been totally fine. It would have been no issue at all. He was more worried about his standing in OTK, and he was more worried about making sure that he didn't look bad and lose money in OTK, and that's the reason why he wanted to keep it private. So it wasn't even about her or about him. It was about money and his position in the org. And we would have never done that even. We would have been like, okay, fine, we're happy for you, Miz. Good job. You just signed this paperwork, and then Emmy also has to sign this paperwork too. It would have been such an easy thing to do. Because do you think that like we really didn't discuss this ever? Of course we discussed this. Yeah, like that's standard. Yeah, it's standard.
Problems. I told her if we were going to be serious about this relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not...
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all... literally, everything about this is bullshit. It seems like you made your mind up. Well, yeah, if somebody tells you 2 + 2 is 5, how long are you going to sit around and listen to them explain why they're right? Of course I made my mind up, because I know what happened.
Oh, God, what was it? What's a really good example of this? Fuck. I remember there's a few examples of these in Breaking Bad. There's a few examples. This is one of them where...
Tell you what, I got to give those bastards points for originality. I'll tell you that much. A little mercury switch, 9-volt battery, 5 or 6 ounces.
Where basically Walt is watching his son. He's watching his son listening to all of Hank's fucking DEA stories about catching the bad guys. And Walt's sitting there, like, super fucking hunched over, getting drunk, emasculated because he can't share his super cool drug stories with the kid because it's illegal, right? Because he'd get caught. So he's just sitting there being like, this guy is stealing my child with his cop stories. Little does he know about the meth that I cook and how good a job I did at escaping that situation with Tuco. Like, that's why he does this, because obviously in this scene he like gets his son too drunk and like the kid throws up and everything. It's like, yeah, it's because he's having a fucking meltdown. Like he's just so wounded by watching his son look up to his brother-in-law instead of him. Like,
5 or 6 ounces of C4.
Especially if it's in his area, right?
Those cartel boys party.
Yeah, but why turtle?
Oh, that's the best part.
Look at him.
It was tells the word I'm looking for. You know?
He fucking hates it.
Not a metaphor, not an analogy. It's well, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, Tortuga. Okay, that was the name of our snitch. Bean speak for tortoise. Okay,
and then he sort of like scoffs at him for asking him for like a a synonym for a word that he's trying to find, and Walter just kind of like laughs and is like, "Oh, at least I'm smarter than you." Like he's like owning that and holding on to it for dear life.
Tortoise, turtle, what have you. I never knew the difference myself. Hey, top me off there, will you, buddy? Anyway, poetic. I guess, yeah, poetic. It was poetic. That's the word.
So yeah, like this, yeah, and then he ends up obviously fucking like pouring his fucking son a drink as well, just to give himself some fucking relevance, you know. It's like there's like a tantrum, you know, when a guy can't get their way or they're getting like emasculated, then what they do, they lash out, and that's what he's doing. He's just making himself. If I can't be important in this scene by talking about my fucking career stories, my work stories, I can do it by making a scene. But yeah, people like this guy, you know, this fucking nutter. That's very much like the Mizkif thing going on here that they're talking about with the tanking and shit. I am the one who tanks in World of... Dude. It's bad. Boy brain, bad.
And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK.
Not have happened. Not happened. The reason why is because you lied. You lied. If you had come out and said this at the beginning, it would not have been a problem. It's the fact that you lied repeatedly, and you forced her and coerced her into the same lie.
And it can cause a
I'm not saying that's why people like the character, you fucking retard. I'm just saying that people liked that character, even though he is designed, he is so deliberately designed to be pathetic, to be a wretch, to be undesirable. Jesus Christ.
Problems in my life. So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me, and everyone in OTK. And that was very hard for me to do. We had a doggy door.
Basically that, it's like a waiver that if a person that you're in a relationship with that has
Okay, did you hear yourself? Yes, I have boy rage. I'm incredibly wounded by those comments. Yes.
A supervisory role
That's
over
the difference. That's a valid crash out is what that is. Jeez.
You has something that you waive a certain type of liability and types of recourse that you can have against a company. Like, I don't know the specifics of it. You can ask an attorney and they can explain it further. It's like an HR thing. It's very standard. Like, basically to remove a conflict of interest.
Or between our rooms, just so we can hide it from everyone else, including my roommates. We would lock the doors to avoid our roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong, and we knew we can handle it. In September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others, trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong, but that destroyed my mental health. I felt like my brain cracked, and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all
You weren't losing OTK. We put you on suspension, and we invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into legal fees in order to do a third-party investigation to find out whether this happened or not. We invested so much into you in order to make sure that we did you right.
Jesus.
That's not true.
Does he not feel weird having this music on while he's doing this react?
Emiru was one of the only people that were there for me. She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan. She went with me anywhere I needed because she wanted me to be happy. And she knew sometimes I freaked out, I lashed out, but she loved me and she knew I was
mean, like, that's a really quick way to just kind of, just kind of gloss over it. I freaked out, I lashed out, yeah, by like being violent and yelling and screaming and breaking stuff and punching holes in the wall, right? Like, that's a lot.
Mental place. It got so bad, the stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression, that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan.
Wait, is that public? Wait, is that public? If she was doing that, did he just... We'll see. I mean, Asmongold will know, right? That's why we got him here. He's our fountain of knowledge.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Okay, so it does sound like he... Oh, no! Mate.
As this time happened, I was a massive wreck.
Mate, you are fucking shagged, dude. You wrote that as well. If that's true, if you just leaked that, that she didn't want disclosed in response to allegation, oh my god. You are so shagged. Is it even true? I don't know.
Couldn't think straight,
and then you hurt everybody else. See, like, I don't feel sorry for you at all because you hurt other people in the process. Like, I would totally have absolute sympathy for Miz if you weren't hurting other people and manipulating and taking advantage of other people left and right while you were in this situation.
Do you think his script has like a brackets cry here or choke up a little bit?
The truth is that, like, whenever, like, I can have sympathy for an individual, but you lose that sympathy whenever you then become an aggressor on top of that. And we see this a lot where people try to say that they were in a bad place. Oh, well, things weren't going so well for me, so I guess I had to act this way, or, oh, I acted out. Well, the thing is that when you act out and you treat a person like your personal stress ball, how do you think that makes that other person feel? And so, really, this is kind of what I was saying before. Do you remember what I always talk to you guys about with, like, misplaced empathy, right? Always misplaced empathy. This is misplaced empathy. If anybody is looking at this and listening and feeling sorry...
Up next on Asmongold. This guy's getting deported. What do you do? Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. This guy's getting deported. Anyway.
For him, rather than all the people that he negatively affected, the people that he lied about, the people that he demonized, the abuse that other people had to go through, the yelling, the indirect violence, punching holes in the wall, etc. It's in the misplaced. Yeah, right. But this is taking advantage.
The chat just plagiarized his chat. Fuck. Okay, what's this? Sneeko mocking the response stream.
And then we went back to her house.
Why is his camera like this? What the fuck? God, I'm reliving all of my favorite male role models. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this bit? Why is he doing the bit? Why is he doing the bit? I don't get it.
Cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage.
This is the worst humiliation ritual I've ever seen, bro. Why do men have to go... We cuddled and then we kissed. We cuddled and then we hugged for... This is Mizkif right now.
Page 2.
I am in love with my girlfriend. On September 3rd, 2021.
Brackets holds back tears. Enter the cat.
I fondled her hair consensually. And then I told her she's my pookums. She looked at me and blinked. Then I gave her a pat on the... I'm crying. It got to this point. Shoulder. We hugged for 7.3 seconds. I got a boner. When I had an erection, I poked her with it.
Haram, Sneeko, haram.
I nutted. When I ejaculated, it felt nice. I didn't want it to get to this point. The fuck is happening?
Nice. Good one.
Of that. Like, do you know how many times people have been mean to me and how many times, like, I've been harassed? Like, whenever I said, like, for example, like that Palestine shit, there were like 3 interpersonal things that were happening in like my personal life that were like really, really fucking me up. And I was like extremely stressed. Like, one of them was my dad's deteriorating health. The other 2 I don't want to talk about. Do you know what I did the next day? I came on there, I said, my bad. I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. It's completely my fault. There's no excuse for it. That's it. It doesn't matter. Like, if you have a bad day and then you hurt somebody else, you're a bad person. That's it. It really, that's... you want to... Because it was a mistake. I shouldn't have said that, right? Everybody makes mistakes. People fuck up. But it's like also, he never really took accountability for this at all until this happened. Taking accountability for their actions without lashing out on others. Yeah, that's the way, by the way, that's the way normal people behave. You owned it? Yeah, exactly. It's like I say all the time, like once you start making excuses for evil, it's over. I say you can lie to every single person in the world except for one person that you never lie to. You never lie to yourself.
Whoa.
Never lie to yourself.
Roach
Once
Lord.
you do that, you're out of your mind.
Yup.
And being that Emiru hung out with me all day,
literally zero sympathy. Zero sympathy because I've had to deal with shit that's like way worse than this multiple times. Like you can look at in terms of like mentions and like Twitter mentions and everything, like the amount of damage that like on an average, like Mizkif getting canceled back then, that happens to me every month. Really, like, and you can look at the graphs and you'll see this is true.
Okay, I don't know if I need Asmon's react for this. It's a bit drawn out.
He too started to become high strung. Ugh.
And even I could do better. I'm not perfect.
No, that's very true. That's very true, Asmongold. What? What did I do?
With me.
God, I'm not perfect today. What the fuck? All right. Ugh, come on. Okay, let's go
In
from
Austin.
here.
Know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends. As this time happened, I was a massive wreck. I couldn't think straight, and being that Emiru hung out with me all day, she too started to become high strung.
No, he is look like he's like glossy eyed and shit. Like that's not fake. He's trying to stop himself from. You can't. I don't know how well you fake the glossy eyes unless you think he's got a fucking onion under. It just depends on what he's. I don't know if he's thinking about what he's recalling or if he's actually just thinking about the view count. If you remember that he's probably thinking about what the view count's going to be like after this, then, you know, might explain it.
Ugh. Fuck. We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain, but I thought it could be fixed over time.
I can do that. It's easy. Yeah, but you're like a woman, so, you know, you've got like the manipulator tactic. I'm joking. Whatever.
Since things were just so amazing that first year. But
it's hard to say because his voice and that doesn't sound real at all.
But as we stayed
Did
around,
he just say I'm so gay?
I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer,
he did.
I started
thought I
resenting her
misheard
a lot
something.
more. You can take it out of remote only mode.
Oh, shit.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in.
A lot of rabbits.
These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail.
Clean bedding. They're rabbits. Where's he go? Okay. Usually attack is the best form of defense. I see. Let's see.
She
Where are we going?
completely neglected those rabbits.
Oh,
So
she
much
did?
that many of
Okay.
them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you." Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
Jesus. Wait, don't rabbits eat their own shit? Because it's like, it retains a lot of the... Wait, don't they eat their own droppings? Because I think they still retain... They retain nutrition, right? But Normally they look more like light colored when they're like that. Yeah. Also, where's the rabbit? He's filming this, right?
This is a video from my own brother. I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt bad.
What's the white stuff? I don't know.
And my brother once came over and said that if I marry her, he'll never forgive me. In fact, when Maya came over during my cancellation, she actually commented on Emiru's rabbits and said, "These rabbits are completely neglected and this is disgusting." Emiru wouldn't clean the cages and the smell became so bad that we started to have the rabbits just be outside. I told her if that's the case, she's got to make sure she's giving them water because they are her responsibility. Instead, these rabbits were left outside in 100-degree heat with no food or water or anything. Most of the time being in cages with no bedding besides poop all over the place. Emmy didn't care. She would sit—
Is Loner some kind of animal sadist? I guess a sadist implies that you enjoy animal suffering. Okay. All right. I don't know. You want my take on fucking pet rabbits? Okay. Here's why this isn't gonna fly. Okay. Here's why this isn't gonna fly. No one gives a fuck about. Okay, wait. Sorry. These rabbits don't vibrate. Wait, what? Listen, I'm just gonna say that. Listen, okay. I'm a streamer. Okay. I don't have any friends in this space. Fuck them. I'll take all the blows. I'm not trying to launch a massive viewership straight. We can take the optics blows. Listen, I'm going to say the thing that you guys are too scared to say, okay? I do that, okay? I'll fall on my sword for the truth because it is fucking true and everyone agrees with me. Rabbits should not be pets, okay? Rabbits are not pet material. They're just not. It's fucking stupid. They don't care about humans. They don't care about you. You think we just keep them sometimes because they're cute. That's it. They just look like cute animals. They do not give a shit about you. You can go into any of your fucking mates owns a rabbit. That rabbit doesn't like being touched. It doesn't like being fucking looked at for too long. It doesn't like you getting up into its space. It's a fucking wild animal that we just captured and threw in a fucking cage because they look cute. That's it. Dogs and cats. Dogs are like basically, they're bred to like people, okay? They're bred to love their owners. Cats, kind of, but they're autistic. Rabbits, nah, mate. Rabbits, no. Leave them outside. Hunt them if you want to. Fucking... Man, my sister's friend had this rabbit. It was fucking massive. You'd go into the kitchen and it would stink up the entire room. It didn't matter how often you tried to clean wherever they were staying, right? Like they're just stinky. They make a smell. They have a smell. And it was this massive fucking lump. This lump of fucking fur just sitting there right in the middle of the kitchen floor. I was like, he didn't do anything, you know. He got his fucking fringe is so big that you couldn't barely see his fucking eyes, and he's just sitting there, this huge lump of fuzz. It's like you have to squint for a second to make sure which side is his front versus his back, and he just sat there like a piece of furniture in the middle of the fucking floor. And I get excited. I like, you know, when I see a rabbit in the wild, I get excited. You know, they're cute. But they're just not a domestic animal. They're not pets. They're not. Stop doing it. Stop it. It doesn't like, your rabbit fucking hates you. Stop. It hates all your friends as well. But I do wonder, these guys were all saying, this guy was sitting on an animal abuse story or sitting on an animal abuse story and not doing anything about it. Like, what the fuck? I wonder, because could she be a bad pet owner? Yeah, probably. Yeah, and rabbits are shit pets, so I don't expect that many people to do it properly. But if that's the case, I do wonder if Mizkif maybe saw, because he seems like the kind of person that would do this, right? Like this kind of person who's like, okay, we have to deal with human issues now. Okay. What's a good line? Well, Hasan just got in shit. He probably saw how much shit Hasan got into over the dog collar and thought maybe this would be a good line of a counterattack. His animals. Well, there are the rabbits, and you know, their cage got pretty disgusting that one time. I see what's going on here. he saw something working, you know, he saw a strategy working. It's like when you see someone, it's like when you're playing a fucking video game, like you see League and you see someone go jungle and they're fucking amazing and they just tan everyone. You're like, oh, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll win every game. Or you see a chess opening, you see a new chess opening. You're like, damn, that opening fucking destroys on the Grandmaster video on YouTube playing it. I'm going to play that opening now and I'll win every fucking game. And then you do it and you just get absolutely annihilated. That seems like what he's doing. That seems like what he's doing, but with the rabbits because of the dog collar. Oh shit.
Inside and play League of Legends all day.
League.
And what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother, and I couldn't see myself marrying her.
Yeah, she mentioned this in their video as well. She said that he was threatening to say that she killed her rabbits.
Fights from these times started to get worse. I would constantly want to be farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her or end things. She was a co-owner of my org, the only person I knew, and the strain of the relationship and hiding the relationship was really taking a toll on me. On top of that, the stalkers were getting worse. One stalker came to my house and I had to point a gun at him for 30 minutes until the cops came. These stalkers are no joke, and the pressure from the relationship, the anger I felt, and the stalkers as a whole really made us lash out at each other. She would tell me that she doesn't realize what she's doing, that she didn't understand what she was doing wrong. But I would constantly tell her on and off stream that she needs to do more because these stalkers are getting worse. I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who—
What the fuck is that reason? Dude. Okay, well, I guess he's just kind of owning up to being controlling and just saying it's for a good reason, but okay. Wow. Interesting.
I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
Yeah, I'm not really convinced by the cracking up this time. You have to remember that when men cry, it looks very out of character because they just don't do it that often. But this is, I'm not so sure. Not so sure about this one.
The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space, but she still wanted me around at all times. She would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. She always wanted me to drive over to her house, but I never wanted to because I wanted to be alone. And that increased our fights, but the stalkers continued, and I got even more stressed. They started to take pictures of me whenever I would drive to her house. They knew my every movement. I couldn't take it. Between the rabbits, the stalkers, and the overall ability to handle situations with each other, I knew this wouldn't last, but I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out.
We all know you can fake. Oh no.
As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the house because he was attacking my cat. Every month went by the last year and our fights started to get louder. We were breaking up with each other almost weekly. Fights were getting more aggressive and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect and I reflect on those situations poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill my—
Is he going to mention the phone being thrown? What clothes? What clothes? Like shoes? Because
myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening. This is the situation. I told her that a stalker—
Kirby may look soft, but it turns into a rock.
at the house. I'm freaking out. What is happening? Can you call me? I'll call you. I literally want to kill myself. I can't take this anymore. I feel so alone and like a problem. Just want to show this. She was also using the I want to kill myself a lot in our situation and relationship. This is while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers. This stalker who was at my house, his background picture was Emiru. And when he talked to the cops, he was in love with her and thought that she was talking to him. It is disgusting what these stalkers can do. I will say this. The fact that this guy came to my house and the result of it was a cop brought him down the street.
Man, the fucking tone here is so strange. It is disgusting what these stalkers will do. I will say this. It's like you scripted what would be like an embellishment or an extra. These stalkers are fucking disgusting. Fuck it. I'm saying it. Although that fuck was too emphasized. Man. This guy's a dumb fuck. I always knew this guy was dumb. You could tell.
To a QT, which is a 7-Eleven, 15 minutes away, and that's all they did, is terrifying for these girls and terrifying for the situation in general. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it, and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very...
Also, yeah, he did say that she was threatening suicide if he left. I thought that she was... That doesn't imply that she was threatening suicide if he left, was it?
Girls. And
feel like shit right now, can't take this. I feel so alone and like a problem.
Terrifying. End it, and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset.
Bro.
She admitted that she made me upset with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up.
I don't know how I can do what I can do with these fucking word choices, because like I don't think he's even smart enough to do it intentionally, but to say she did it to upset me, she admitted that it did upset me. And those are two different things, though. Those mean two different things. Bro.
For about a month. Then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house.
She said that she was okay with this on stream. Didn't she say that she was like allowing it to happen out of like, because she felt uncomfortable or something like that? For the hugging, right? Okay. That's a strange retelling, man. He's fucked. This guy's fucked. They do this in, there was a film that had this in a scene. God, there are so many film references. When someone's crying, dude, you don't... And I think this is when she's not in a relationship, right? So if you're not in a relationship with someone, and they're crying, that might be an invitation to like fucking console them or like to, like I said, hug them or whatever. But if you get into starting like kissing and putting your fucking hand down their pants, that's a very extra step. You need some kind of check before that. Like, hang on. Tears can be a turn on. What's that? There's that film. Is it Submarine? I don't think they would have scenes of that film on YouTube. It's a pretty... Nah, it's not gonna have it. Okay.
I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want, and Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper. I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true. This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, The last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you." That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have messaged her numerous
times. You know what the worst thing is that because I tend to be of the mindset that when there are allegations against someone of this nature, you tend to want to like try to scrutinize it a little bit, so because you like because it's so easy to like destroy someone's life over like a frivolous claim, right? But so you kind of want to approach it with like a skeptical mindset. There are a few things that he's saying here that if they were a little bit different, it could make sense. Like, so for example, if the story about the fucking crying and the hands down the pants thing, like if that was something that had happened from say like cuddling to the crying stops and then they start kissing and this is maybe like a 15, 20 minute, 30-minute gap. And then she says like, "Oh no, not that though." And then he goes away. That's probably like, that would probably change the telling it like the situation quite a bit. Or even when he's talking about fucking, she would throw stuff at me like clothes and plushies. Well, it's like, if one of those plushies was like quite big and heavy, or like they threw it at you when you had like fucking kitchenware on the table, like a glass or something that could break, or like that could be kind of like, just because it's big and soft or like doesn't mean it can necessarily not scare you for someone to be throwing stuff at you. But even if it's a girl to a guy, like there are a few things here that stories can be retold in a way that can tell like that can change the impression. But everything Mizkif is saying right now is just like, even if any of these scenarios could actually be turned against her, I feel like he would just never be able to communicate it, because he seems like he's doing a terrible fucking job of advocating for himself. Like everything he's saying is just said in a way that sounds like it's validating what she's claiming rather than disproving it. So, oof. Not good.
Times wondering why I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong.
People in his chat are saying Matt GBT. No. Or Segal, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate it.
Began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep. Going from being with each other for 3 years straight and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating. I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress I've had away. I've also moved from Austin myself, and I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false, but I do hope nothing but the best for her, and I'm sorry that any of this happened. I hate that we're in this situation, and I hope that she can move on. We were in a toxic relationship.
She's also 1/3 his size. Her throwing plushies is not super intimidating. I don't know about having plushies thrown at you. That's never really happened to me in a confrontational way. Anyway, I would be careful with the whole, like, they're a small woman. Like, that's a woman, like a woman can be half your size and still be scary and still intimidate the fuck out of you, even physically. Because, like, if you don't want to hit someone, like, if you don't want to be in that situation, yeah, of course it can be. Of course that can be scary.
I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend and I have a lot to work on for myself. I've been single for the past 10 months and I plan to stay that way. I'm continuing to go to therapy and work on myself, not just for me, but for the people around me. If you're wondering if it's scripted, the answer is, of course it is. I wrote it out because I cannot freeball this. This is a very serious situation. I want to make this real. And that's it. Okay? I'm going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well,
shit.
if she has
calls.
them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have that I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild. But I want to make it very clear. When it comes to Emiru, when she says that I was getting ready to go after her and that I was going to use her rabbits against her, that was never the plan. My plan for myself was very simple. If Emmy were to say something about me, I would say something back. That's it. I never had a plan in my life to go after her or do anything. It was if she ever said anything, I would say something as well. And that's completely understandable. Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen, because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose.
This is exactly the kind of fucking behavior, isn't it? Like the wounded male. You won't like me now. I've got nothing to lose. Fuck me, man.
Lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did. And if you're in Austin, Texas, and
it's not funny because, like, okay, I know anything about this Emiru person. It could be 100% true. Okay, it could be completely true. It's kind of one of those things where the allegation is botched by the person making it. You know. I think this happened with that guy, Bo of the Fifth Column, who had some scandal about, it was a legal issue actually, with the way he was treating migrant workers. But it was one of the people who brought it forward was Mike from PA. And because it was Mike who led the charge, no one really took part in it, and not much happened. Yeah. Was it to do with trafficking? Yeah, it might have been actually, yeah. But because it was people like Mike going after him, no one gave a fuck. Oh, no.
You want to say that exactly what I said.
Smuggling?
I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen, because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did. And if you're in Austin, Texas, and you want to say that she didn't abuse those rabbits at my house, you're lying.
Shit.
You know she did. She abused those rabbits and she let them outside. And it's disgusting. And I didn't want to bring this up ever. This was not something I planned on bringing up in my life. But it's something that she claims that she didn't do. And people are trying to defend her from that. Like Asmongold, where he says that one of her rabbits she took and brought around. What about the other 6 rabbits that died? As for what happened with me and Emiru, I mentally have been fucked up for years. And I'm very proud of myself for working on myself. And I think leaving Austin was the best thing, not just for me, but for everyone around me. I do believe that. I fucked up a lot, and I'm never going to not admit that. And I realized I need to be alone. I never got kicked out of Austin, Texas. I left myself. I'm absolutely mentally fucked. I have been slowly working on it. I do feel like I've been getting better.
What happened to the rabbits? They ate each other. I don't know, Cher. We don't know what happened to the other rabbits. And I don't know if I trust this man. Do rabbits eat each other? Wait, do they? We know they pooped a lot and that there were mites. I don't know what beyond that. Man, rabbits as pets, I fucking whatever, dude.
I feel like I'm very calm right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel angry. I feel that I've Every day I'm trying to learn more and more and do better, but I'm going to stand up for myself in a lot of these situations because a lot of it was not true. And I don't like that she was portraying that it was just me who was at fault. It was a toxic relationship, and that's what it was. Why was viewership so important? I will bluntly say this, and I'm very honest. I was, and I still am, but I very much was someone that was massively obsessed with streaming and viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed with streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. You guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've always been this way. I've been very envious of other people, and it's a problem. It's a serious. I'm definitely way better than I was now, or I am now, but it's a serious problem that I am still working on to this day. I am not perfect, and I fucked up with that. I've been this way for a very fucking long time, where I'm a competitive dude, and I think I'm very competitive with streaming because I really care about it a lot. I've sunk my whole life into this thing. Did you really drive 150 miles an hour? I'm going to say this very clear. If you know me in Austin, Texas, I drive fast everywhere. I drive fast literally everywhere. I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas, where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport, and she was in her blue Corvette, and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway when she was getting mad, and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying. But I'll say this, I have no problem admitting fault.
These people
the
are
person
so
that
fake.
I was during that relationship, and I would say
people.
the Mizkif in Austin, Texas is fucking disgusting. I hated myself. I hated this person that just sat there all day, stressed and angry and mad at the fucking world. I hated being this upset person because I know you are who you hang out with. And I definitely changed Emmy in a lot of ways and made her very stressed as well, and mentally the situations we were in, it just cataclysmed both of us. I was a very toxic person, and I knew I needed to get out, so I broke up with her. In fact, I broke up with her twice. The first time I broke up with her, I really thought it was over. And the second time I broke up with her was forever. I did message her a lot afterwards, primarily for OTK stuff, but there were times where I did want to go back to her. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. I was drunk, I thought I needed to, but yeah, that's it. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. This is something I think that we went over, and I am glad that it is out there, what I just said. And that's it. So that's it. I said what I had to say. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will be back.
What's he talk about for the next 5 minutes?
I'm not leaving anytime soon. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.
I feel like if he established that as a boundary not to post very early on, first year, and they were together and been around for like years together, this is my take. I'm going to assume that she knew and accepted that boundary. So now we can make whatever you say about him, and you'll be right. You say, oh, he's a controlling fucking, controlling psycho, whatever. Then people are gonna say they're insulter. Insecure? I agree. Insecure bitch, 100%. Definitely. Right? Yeah? And I think everyone would agree to that. That's 100%. Right? Unfortunately, it's, I feel like since it was established early on, it's something that she was okay at the time, at least. So, that's what I'm at.
What boundary are they talking about here?
Be more than willing to.
Is this about posting lewds? Is that what they're talking about? Oh, so the end is just the XQC clip. Finally getting his take on this, yeah.
Understand.
TikToks, okay.
You have to walk me through how what I just said is wrong. It's still wrong though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the truth lies in the middle.
I'm guessing it was cosplay. Or for the WoW stuff, the thing with the WoW stuff is like, you can think it's unreasonable, and yeah, it is. Like, it's obviously like it's his problem. But when you look at those messages, and he's like saying he doesn't want her to tank, but she keeps on saying, what should I do? What can I do? What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? But it seems like what he's asking for is quite clear. Now, maybe if you're in a relationship, you can have situations where like one person is quite insecure about something, so you just don't bring that up or you don't trigger it. Like, even if it's like, because it's one thing for, say, for example, if it was, do I even need an example? It can just be the thing. Like, let's say Mizkif was just saying, yeah, like, I'm kind of insecure about people saying that you're better than me at video games, like whatever. It's my problem. Probably need to work through it. But for the meantime, can you just like not do things that would trigger that for like the tanking in WoW? And then she goes and she might say yes to that, and then she does it anyway. That would change the situation quite a bit, right? But it's just fucking hell. I don't expect Mizkif to. If that was his defense, that probably means he doesn't have much, if anything. And he admits to being like freaking out about the viewership as well, and like slamming doors and shit. Yeah, fucking hell, man. Not good. Not good. Click the Tectone. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm capable. But there is some more, right? There's still the yeet clips. That's probably all I need for other people, right?
Of course I'm biased. Duh.
Whoa. Sigma.
What do you think? Of course I'm biased.
Yes.
Because I know what happened. Yeah, obviously you're going to be if you know something about a situation that is more than what the public would know, then yes, obviously you're going to be biased about it because you know things that were you there? In some of these cases, yes. The bias towards being the truth. Yeah, exactly. Like I it's not about whether
bias
this is
towards
like,
the truth.
oh, whose side this is on.
That's not how bias works, Asmongold. I'm sorry. I know it sounds clever. It sounds like a good a trap card. It sounds like a good trick. But
Can I honestly ask about that? Why is everyone saying he does too much? He actually doesn't do shit.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that even supposed to mean?
Oh no, you gonna get boomed for that.
What you talking about?
Bro, Ronaldo, shut your stupid ass.
Suki been streaming a lot recently.
Yeah, what do you mean he doesn't do too?
What do you mean he don't do shit?
Oh no.
You on your own.
Bro, Max,
He
you
do
better get your
shit. He be working though.
you better get your ass beat. You better
What?
Yeah, don't say shit
And
about
I'm on
sleep.
Max's side.
Don't
Just
say
saying,
shit.
bro. I'm not on your side. Sorry. I'm
Oh
talking
no,
shit.
mud.
Can I?
what the fuck is
Can I
this?
honestly ask about that? Why is everyone saying he does too much? He actually doesn't do shit.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that even supposed to mean?
Oh no, you gonna get boomed for that.
What you talking about?
Who's he talking about? What? I don't know. I don't know what that meme is, but okay. Man, I would be so out of place in one of these fucking circles. Jesus. Who are these people? Why are they on my feed? Asmongold calling out the Miz kids. Oh no.
Wow. Why is it such a coincidence that all the people in Austin and also LA don't talk to him?
Oh.
I think he's also like there's been a large part of his community that's been trying to like actively downplay and spread misinformation and lie and especially hurt Emiru. And I think that really I hope that now after seeing the receipts and seeing the screenshots and seeing the edits and everything, I hope you realize who you're defending. I hope you realize that this is what you've been fighting for.
Uh-huh.
And the amount of like lies and misrepresentations and vicious attacks.
Okay, I can't with the music in the background. I can't. It looks like all of Yeet is just spamming fucking Asmongold clips.
Any open message to Miz?
Oh, a message.
Have some dignity and retire.
Ooh.
Like I really, I mean, that's my honest, like, you know, what advice do you have? There it is.
He said he had a lot to say. I guess he does, yeah. For the first time ever. It's not just him watching Trump speeches and going, yup, 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 yup. Makes sense to me. Tectone asks that people just support Emiru right now. I don't really care that people know I was right about Mizkif. Just support Emiru right now, thanks. Wow. What an enlightened male. What a lad. But he's, he's had his time off and he's feeling a lot better now, so that makes sense, right? It all adds up. It all adds up. Come on. There's can't be much more of this. Did I just close all those windows? No, I didn't. There's this whole, like, I've got all this stuff about... Oh, here's what this person said. Here's what this person said. I don't give a fuck, man. Asmongold. Who else is here? Mizkif disabling comments. Don't care. Deoreo calling out denims. Well, we've always got time for that. Deoreo calls out denims after her crop of streamers for getting mad at him over his ultimate rape review segment, while they themselves do ultimate rape review segments and profit off the situations. What, like they do it for Israel? For Palestinian, for Hamas war crimes? Whatever.
Thanks for your research streams, love the way you arrange the information, it makes it super easy to follow. I'm less about slop o'clock, but your comments are super funny as well. Thanks, Lonerbox.
Super funny. Thanks so much for the 50 PLNs. I really appreciate that, Emu brother. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Oh, we do have a comment here. What's this? What's going on here? What are we saying? Whoa, it's that time again. Okay, come on. Come on. Does he have a comment? Is this on the Emiru thing, or this is the only thing I can see of his on the Yeet feed anyway? I don't think this is about Emiru. What is this about?
My own personal experience with this stuff, as a person who is the recipient of it for the last 2 years, with all of my fucking colleagues standing idly by and not even letting out a peep. Okay? Not even once letting out a fucking peep for a position that I maintain.
Dude, you have an absolute fucking army of degenerate 12 IQ fucking mouth breathers who will come to your aid over absolutely anything. The border is secure. The open air prison border is secure. He's relating it to Mamdani. Yeah.
A position that is now the majority position. A position that colleagues of mine that were silent about out of fear that they would be yelled at, that they now can openly declare they're in support of. Okay? Not once did
Dude, no one who hated Israel was ever fucking scared to say on the internet and online politics. Okay.
Single motherfucker turn around and go, Twitch or terrorist? That seems like a little crazy that you just have a bunch of Arab Muslim content creators and you're comparing them to terrorists. This doesn't seem like a fun game. This seems pretty fucking racist as a matter of fact. Okay? And not a single fucking person spoke out on it. And to this day, they do not. And they never will. And I just ate it every fucking day, knowing full well that if you bring it up and you say, hey, this is kind of fucked up, they'll make a larger conversation about it. Okay? Other content creators have called for my deportation, consistently called me a fucking terrorist, laughed about it like it's fucking jokes. Not a fucking peep from anybody. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I understand that Hasan is not Arab or Muslim. Yes.
Not a peep from anyone. This is how racist attitudes continue to thrive.
Racist attitudes.
Okay? And at a certain point, you got to stand up for yourself. So I'm proud that Zoran's doing this.
It's so stupid. Comparing it to fucking Zoran, man. Oh, no. And he has to fucking spurg out reading Lenin fucking essays to convince his chat that voting for people like Platner and Zoran isn't actually a bad thing. I don't know, man. It's like, I think I understand why. I understand why the dog story got as much fucking traction as it did, and it's because I think there is something very. It's not just obviously animals. Anything involving dogs in America would get people fired up, right? Because people really, really love their pets. They love dogs and shit like that. People are more offended by dogs getting hurt than with humans, right? Because there's always just such an inherent innocence to dogs. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that he lied so blatantly about it afterwards, and so did his defenders. And I think people latch onto that for probably the similar reason that people like me freak out about Hasan, right? And it's because there is something very, very captivating, I think, and not in a good way, but it's very captivating in people basically telling you not to believe the thing that is obviously true and trying to turn it around on you. I think that's also why Pirate Software blew up so much, because it was so obvious that he contributed to what had happened in that hardcore game, right? And WoW, and in that dungeon. It was so obvious that he had a role to play, but like, I have no mana, whilst his mouth is hovering over a fucking piece that can give you mana, right? Like, but he just wouldn't admit to it. And I think seeing that is probably a similar mental process to like what I would go through when I would hear him talking about fucking Houthis or about Hezbollah and shit like that. Yeah. But I guess for the dog, it's more universal.
They'll make a larger conversation about it. Okay? Other content creators have called for my deportation, consistently called me a fucking terrorist, laughed about it like it's fucking jokes. Not a fucking peep from anybody. Okay? Not a peep from anyone. This is how racist attitudes continue to thrive. Okay. And at a certain point, you got.
Okay. That's plenty. Plenty of him. What does that have to do with Zoran? I don't know. I think with Zoran, it must be kind of annoying with the Zoran thing because he made a bunch of like at various points comments on Israel Palestine that were vague or inflammatory, or like his responses to them were vague and unsatisfactory. Like he would talk like he would say those things, and now obviously his opinions about Israel Palestine have become the center of attention for a New York mayoral debate, which is quite weird. But it's almost like he's doing the thing where he says these things that he should know will attract attention, and then people pay attention to it. And then he says, whoa, why are you thinking about this? Why are you talking about this so much? It's like, wait, who sparked the interest? Who initiated that whole procedure? So yeah, that must be a pain. Anyway. What even happened with Ludwig? What's this? Has he, last I saw, he decided that it was a shot caller, but then he retracted. What's he saying now? XQC is still posting the XQC is demonstrating this phenomenon very, very clearly. I think he's probably more so because I don't know if he realizes why though. He probably is just getting absolutely fucking mind rotted by the amount of flagrant disregard for the truth that's going on.
TwitchCon, all right? And XQC is probably the single biggest person who is driving the Callergate drama on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
You know what XQC says to me at TwitchCon? He goes, I don't give a fuck if he abuses the dog. I don't give a fuck if he's a shot caller. He calls himself, when he's investigating what's happening, the debunker.
Yeah.
He has an alter ego called the debunker.
It's not an alter ego though. The point is that the thing that people care about, if they don't, some people just care about dogs, right? That's probably most people. Other people, say like me, or I'm guessing XQC is in the same area, is they care about the lying. Like it's a very interesting level and method of lying. Ugh.
I think he finds genuine joy in flaming the drama. He's a chaotic, evil human, and seeing whatever smolders remain after he's done with his mess.
Picture with
Yeah, there's no genuine care behind. It's not
the charging point.
X's not sitting there seeing a fucking injured bird on a walk, going, "Oh, motherfucker, I gotta handle." There's not like a, you know what I'm saying? It is the deep. He has the same alter ego that Dream does when Dream investigates him.
XQC's girlfriend said he didn't say that.
Himself. He literally calls himself the debunker. So, like, this is the reality. Is there's not a lot of genuineness there.
Tell us about genuineness, Ludwig.
There are people who do genuinely care, who are his viewers or whatever involved in it.
Okay. What?
I did tell her, I was like, cutie, I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently sound really angry all the time. You sound really, and she knows. I was like, you're very blunt. I think it's your tone, you're blunt, and it just comes off poorly, especially, you know, and I was like, you're also the whitest woman I know. And it also is just, you know, you being so white. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But I know her. I know her heart. It's just because she wants to help. But I feel like there's ways we can do it better.
What the fuck is this about? This is not
I
about.
did tell her. I was like,
what is this about?
I do think your tone doesn't help because you inherently.
What is this about? Is this about the caller? Who's this? I don't know who this is.
Simply didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable. Obviously, as you could see in the clips. You know who I am. You know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok and you don't know shit about me or fucking...
QT was talking about being friendly with homophobes and transphobes.
shit about shit, then of course I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna make the
Really?
assumptions that you're going to make. But people who know me and know my character and know what the fuck I stand for know how I'm gonna go about this. So I am simply stepping back from everything, everyone. Gonna touch a little grass.
You can't watch reactions without seeing the vid. I don't know where the fucking vid is. Where's the vid? A bunch of white people get together and decide to go after the whitest one. Yeah. It's on Yeet. Okay, hang on. Fuck me. She was copyright striking re-uploads. Man, why? What is wrong with these people? Why did they behave in such a way? I also need to find out why all these people are doing South Park character memes. Because a bunch of people have changed their profile pictures to South Park characters.
Of your side of the relationship, you'll get walked all over.
Hey, babe, how you doing?
Oh, hey, baby, what's going on?
We still on for recess?
Yep, I'll be there.
Okay, babe, love you.
I thought you said you broke up with Hattie. I decided to give her one more chance. But you said she was mentally abusive. She is mentally abusive.
So then why did you take her back?
Because she said she was gonna kill herself, alright guys? There. I broke up with her and she called me being all like, I can't live without you, I'm scared what I'm gonna do to myself, oh god.
Is the meme here that she breaks up with him and he freaks out?
The bitch is crazy, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, Stan.
Yeah?
Can I talk to you about Eric?
Cartman? Okay.
I just want to make sure he's alright.
What do you mean?
I don't even know if I should be saying this, but Eric said he was thinking about killing himself.
What?
We broke up, and
Oh, no.
he called saying he was about to do it. I'm still really scared for him.
Wait, Cartman said he was gonna kill himself?
I'll send you the voicemail if you promise to keep it private.
Totally.
You have to take me back. You have to. I'm gonna kill myself, Hattie. I'll kill myself and then you'll be sorry. You wish you could have me back, but I'll be dead. Please, Hattie, please.
Okay. Really cool listening to people's private voicemails.
You sound like a dying pig.
That's great. I'm glad you guys think suicide is
They NEP Lola's token. Shut up.
so funny.
But I mean, the problem with that though is like is that it is actually fairly. It's like it's just not that unusual for that dynamic to happen.
This is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am homophobic. Believe it or not, everybody.
Damn! Imagine this being fucking drama. Oh my god. What are these homophobic jokes? Like, how bad are we? How bad are we talking here? This is such a nothing. What the fuck?
Yes.
Like, you are not who you associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works. Like,
It's not comfortable.
this is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. Jesus.
If anyone ever fucking hell. And they called her white for that. I can't defend you. You're being so white. Oh no. Well, you got what you asked for, eh? That's the crowd you want to hang out with, and they treat you like that for that. God. Subscribe, you fucking assholes. I mean, sorry.